This is Just Nigeria. Coming up, lockdown in Lagos. Youths allegedly defend their communities as police blame fake news for unrest.
When they call and we send our people to the place, at the end of the day, you find out that nothing is happening in such place.
Also, parenting in a pandemic. We'll show you how to keep your children positively engaged during the lockdown. And service to humanity. The software engineers fixing ventilators for free. Plus,
hello, my name is Achenyo Idachaba Obaro. Check me out.
The social entrepreneur transforming aquatic waste into beautiful things. Welcome to Just Nigeria from the BBC and Channels TV, where we bring you the stories being talked about by the social media generation. I am Wali Fakile. On to our top story for this week. Now, there have been mixed reports of attacks on some communities in Lagos by armed men during the Easter weekend. Social media was lit with users making claims of attacks on their families and friends. The police have debunked such reports, describing the alleged attacks as fake news. Just Nigeria's Ajoke Ulotse has been to some of these communities to find out what is going on.
As confirmed cases of the coronavirus inch towards the 2 million mark, with over 119,000 deaths, governments across the world are keeping more cities on lockdown. Federal authorities in Nigeria are adopting similar strategies. A previous 14-day lockdown has been extended, covering the states and territory with the most confirmed cases: Lagos, Abuja, and Ogun. But what began as a quest for residents to self-isolate and maintain social distancing in Lagos and neighboring Ogun allegedly degenerated into a supremacy battle among cult groups.
The whole crisis started in April, sometimes last week, with the death of a prominent member of a dreaded secret cult group who was killed by a member of another cult group. And his death sparked up what we are having at hand now.
They tried that in those villages in Ogun State. Ogun State Police Command responded, hit them hard, and got 150 of them arrested. Then some of them now escaped into Lagos communities because we share boundaries with them. They escaped into Lagos communities. We also responded from our end here, hit them hard, and we got over 100 of them also arrested. We recovered some locally made pistols from these guys.
Alleged reports of robbers attacking several locations simultaneously broke the internet on Easter weekend. Twitter users claimed there were attacks on homes belonging to friends and loved ones. In no time, armed youths took to the streets, ready to protect their communities. Remnants of the bonfires left in the wake of vigils now litter streets. Tweets like this one, alluding to real-time attacks in Ojodu-Bega area of Lagos, kept many people up all night long. I've come to talk to residents of Adeniyi Street in Akiode, the alleged victims of armed bandits.
The government says stay at home, don't go out. And some people have been attacking us. We won't go.
All right. You just said now that some people have been attacking you.
Attacking for the nearby our area here. And this they want to pass through our entrance here. That is where we are coming out.
Did anybody see them trying to pass through that place?
They are not, we know, since they know that they are burning tire here, the day for the junction they can penetrate to this area, they find their way.
Jamiu claims they heard gunshots from neighboring communities and stories that robbers were approaching in dozens. This tweet, alluding to a gun battle in Ogba, also points us in the same direction. I have come to Okeira in search of a victim, but Deji, a resident here, gives me another perspective.
We heard that there's some guys, robbing around the area, so there was panicking and all of that. So we decided to come outside of the estate so we can, be at alert so we don't get mobbed in our streets.
Do you know where precisely they were robbing?
We learned they were robbing all the way from Ogba down to Modupe. we're even hearing the gunshot, even right here, in the estate.
At Modupe, I met Imo. He says he and his neighbors also received the same information and spent the night outdoors.
We get information that some boys to go attack Jodu side, go to all the houses. So the next time at Modupe here, we never come and attack, but we all of them get information. We get information red-handed with the official that it is coming.
Everywhere you turn, the stories are the same. Pockets of young men on the streets ready for battle. They have all heard the attackers are coming and tell tales of how other communities have been sacked, but no one can identify a victim. Elsewhere in Ogba, restive youths have taken to the streets wielding machetes. Olajide is a youth leader here. He says the gang they're expecting have attacked Ifo local government in Ogun State.
We had an information from reliable source because some people run down to our street that those so-called 1 million boys or our boys are in our neighborhood street. So we now come out in mass to protest ourselves or defend because of their coming. Because a series of atrocity committed by them that we heard from a neighborhood state, Ogun State, Agbado to be precise, and other areas.
Agbado and Ejoko areas in Ifo local government have been tagged as the epicenter of these attacks. However, no one can point us in the direction of a victim, and residents say they now live in fear of the unknown enemy.
For the past 5 days now, we have been having sleepless nights around the area here. We heard that some boys, our boys, or whether 1 million boys, they were terrorizing every area. And for us not to be caught unaware, we started doing vigilante in our area here.
At the Lagos Police Command, a heap of worn-out tires have been rescued from anxious residents preparing for more bonfires. But who has been attacked? And how is the police managing this apprehension?
On Saturday alone, I, as a person, I received more than 300 calls from different areas. And when they call, and we send our people to the place, at the end of the day, you find out that nothing is happening in such place. Somebody called me that we should quickly move to an area they call Kajola, that 7 people has been killed in that Kajola area. We sent policemen to the place. The person was talking as if he was standing with the dead body of those people killed. On getting there, we couldn't, not even a goat was killed in that place. We have to call him to ascertain, maybe we didn't know the description of the place he was trying to tell us. When I called him back, policemen have been to that area and we couldn't see anything. He said somebody told him, okay, you yourself, where are you? He said it's in motion in Lagos.
You can't secure your neighborhood by creating more panic. So the problem you claim to solve, you are aggravating it. Because people within the neighborhood can't even sleep because they felt that you are the armed robbers on their streets.
Although the police has given assurances it would maintain law and order, what can residents do to help?
It has to be a concerted effort that should be led by the police. It will interest you to know that there are a lot more, in this particular case, armed and unhappy civilians at home than even the boys who are going to be attacking any group. So we should have a concerted policing effort. Or else what you will see is the same people who seem to be protecting the community now, when it gets really bad, they'll also revolt against their police and perhaps the government.
As the federal government extends the lockdown in Lagos and Ogun states, the police will need to do more to ensure these young men earn their trust, drop their weapons and return to their homes. Ajoke Huloti, Gist Nigeria.
Youths defending their communities there.